Hey guys, so we're back with another random race that I decided to race. Half of the drivers are what I would say experienced, and the other half was very inexperienced. Straight away, Sinead, the staff in front of me, is dealing with someone who is unsure whether they can fit in a seat insert or not. You can already tell that half the track's gone out, and I'm still in the pit lane waiting to go out. So by this happening, I immediately know that this person has never been here before, or they've never go-karted before. She throws the seat insert away. I'm seeing that all my friends are 3/4 of the way through the track, and I'm expecting by the time I come out of the pit lane, they're going to be coming straight down the long straight, and it could be a hazard. So I'm looking, I'm seeing, yeah, there's one. The person in front seems aware that there's a possibility. It's just a bit dangerous, this bit. So yeah, I come out the pit lane quickly here and I immediately go to the right. All of a sudden, I've ended up with the pack that I wanted to end up with. Next to me, I've got Nathan. Nathan's a staff member here at the track, also a very fast driver. This entire race literally becomes just me and him. So the guy in the pink suit, if you've not raced here before, you get the pink suit when it's your birthday. So I'm assuming that he's come with his family for his birthday. Here is a red flag immediately, which is strange. Someone must have crashed before we even made it to the amber flag. But at least they've crashed now because we don't have to do the flag checks. Back to green. The next 3 races that, well, the next 2 races after this video that I will upload, they're all very weird. Just because, like I said, half of the races are somewhat experienced and the other half are very inexperienced. So you can see by the speed some of these people are going, like braking on corners where you don't need to brake. It can cause a bit of danger, and it makes you need to rethink your routes. Like, going slow through there is very dangerous, especially if you tap your brakes, you'll spin out. Someone spun out there already. I mean, all in all, this race wasn't actually interrupted that much. It was just whoever was racing on track, who was inexperienced, was dangerously slow in some parts of the track. So yeah, me and the other members and the experienced racers, we had to kind of adapt. You can see that no one really knows how to get the grip properly. I make a quick slide down the inside on the guy in the red suit, and now I'm pretty much behind someone who's relatively fast. So we'll see how quick it takes us to catch up to someone not so fast. This might be the only clean lap I get in this race. I can't remember. I maybe don't even get a clean lap this race, but we'll see. Anyways, I believe I'm coming up to Callum, who is a member. Callum's a very good racer. And we had, I think in race 3, I was behind him for a while, whilst we was just giving each other room and respect like you should be doing. Anyways, you see the person underneath who just let me breeze past, but they obviously knew that we was going to tear the track apart. There's not really if anything, if they was going to stay in our lines, in our ways, they were just going to cause danger to themselves more than us. So I think this is potentially the only clean lap I have, and I think it's a 59.2 if I remember correctly. You can see that I am gaining on Callum ever so slowly. I think I'm probably around a second quicker a lap than him right now. I tried to go a bit narrow there, thinking can I get the inside line, but the distance was just too big, so it wasn't worth me trying. I will happily sit behind Callum now, and we'll try and make our way through the pack. That's the only thing I can do. I'm not sure what I'm doing there. I'm hitting barriers, I slide out, I hit that tyre wall, clearly lapse of concentration. That's another thing with this track. If you lose concentration for a split second, you will mess up the entire lap. Obviously I'm not going flat out because I'm having to let off so I don't unintentionally bump Callum in front of me. Someone just came out the pit lane there, which was pretty dangerous. I see Callum just taps the person because they're a bit too hasty on the brakes, which then gives me the right of way, and I now pass two of them, and now all of a sudden Callum's behind me. And pretty much for the rest of this race, it's probably just me trying to safely overtake the much slower racers. There's one person there, there's two people going up the up ramp. Whoever was in the birthday suit, it must have been their first time they've been karting, because it was very, how do you say it, cautious in racing. You can see that I'm literally already on the tails, and this is where it gets a bit thingy. Yeah, they slam on, I slam on, and I am tapped from behind by Nathan, I think. Anyways, once I get past this guy, which he does actually leave me a lot of space every time I overtake him, it's just sometimes that they try and leave the space in the racing line. Here, yeah, I let Nathan pass here. So this is Nathan. Like I said, he's a staff member at this track. Very fast racer. I'm pretty sure on this race alone he might be sitting on a 58.6 even. 58.7, one or the two. It definitely does a 58.6 in one of the 3 races, but I'm not sure it's this one. Anyways, he's in kart 7. I'm in kart 2. And kart 7, I had it on the 3rd race. It was noticeably faster on the straights compared to this car, which is probably why Nathan decided he wanted to run away with the race and beat me by a good 0.4 seconds. So yeah, catch up to a few members, but like I said, we all respect each other and we give each other space. Like, he moves over for me very nicely. I thank him, like you should do. We are all racing for times here and a bit of fun, nothing serious. You don't have to be the dark karter. Now I'm pretty much trying to catch back up to Nathan, which I think I do when he snags into the traffic. I'm not sure if that's Reese in front. Yeah, it might be Reese in front. But when he catch up to Reese, then I will catch up to Nathan. In terms of the racing, my racing line's the same no matter how I race or who I race with. I'll try and keep it the same. If for whatever reason I have to adapt quickly because I see danger ahead, like these two, I'm trying to think what these two are going to do. So we all slow down, they slow down, they then leave the gap open, so then us three, sorry, just blitz past and then we're back racing. But it's really hard sometimes to judge inexperienced drivers on what they're going to do, just because they're not always looking in the peripheral vision, and it can be dangerous if they turn in a corner that I take flat out, just because they're not looking. They could unintentionally T-bone you, tap you, make you spin out, but it's down to you to refrain that from happening. So now it's just us three at the front. We're, like I said, we're pretty fast drivers. Nathan gets past Reese. and then I now need to find a way past Reese to keep up with Nathan. This was quite fun. I'm not sure what it's like to watch. We are just racing for fun. But if you was actually in my seat, this was a very fun race, just because it involved keeping up with your friends, trying to race with drivers who clearly don't race so much, and it just made it a very interesting but fun race, I guess. There's a yellow flag here, and as you can see, the person in the purple suit is going very slow. This is the correct speed to go on a yellow flag, but once you've raced a good few laps and you've got all that heat into your tyres, it's such a shame to just lose it all. This person's clearly aware that we're all here. They hugged it in a wall. It's a bit sketchy, to be honest, because if you are going flat out through the downslope, you can lose your back end a little bit if you go too wide and then too narrow. So Reese now lets me past, which is fine. I take this inside line. Now this kind of messes me up. I brake a little there, and because it's quite bumpy and the tyre pressures are hard, it kind of hurt my left rib in the first race immediately. Not too much that it caused me to stop. I still managed to race the remaining 2 races, but it did noticeably hurt. I can see Nathan's now going to get slowed down by, yeah, these two. I safely overtake that person, and now all of a sudden Nathan is behind the birthday boy, I believe. I mean, you can't miss the birthday people. If you ever see no one in the pink suit, it just means it's the birthday. And all of a sudden, I'm back on Nathan's tail. He's looking behind, see where I am. He knows that he's probably got the distance in front of me because he's quite easily passed people. But the issue with that is I've easily passed the same people because I've took the opportunities which Nathan took. So he probably thinks that he's got a bigger gap to me than what he had. That was quite a nice move from Nathan. And then I push through the inside, so I'm still on his tail. I'm not letting him leave my sight, of course. Like I said, he's one of the fastest racers around here, so if I'm keeping up with Nathan, then I'm doing the best I can. I think the person in front of Nathan is one of the faster people in the birthday group. They seem like they've raced before. The racing line isn't perfect, but it's definitely of some experience. Again, I sneak past this person because they're giving it space. It seems that they was aware I was there, and it's just me and Nathan racing one-on-one again. I'm not sure how I came off the track with a 0.45 second gap to Nathan. There must have been a point where I hit traffic and he managed to benefit from it more than me, because it is quite a big gap even though there's not really anything separating us as we're racing right now. I'm pretty sure the last lap is about to finish or start. Oh, yeah, there you go. It finished, and Nathan was aware that it was finishing, and I expected it, so we both came in. At this point, I'm looking, the kart line's very weird, so I didn't want to go in the wrong lane. But yeah, that's the first race over with.